It's the science of the soul and the science of the super soul. So today, I want to talk a little bit about what the soul is. We are all spiritual beings, actually, by nature. But at this point in our lives, we are covered by a body, which is different from the soul. So today we're going to be geologists. You know what a geologist is? It's a person who digs into the earth and tries to find gold. But we're going to be spiritual geologists. We're going to dig for the soul today. See, what does it mean to be soul? So here it says that to the soul there is neither birth nor death. He has not come into being, does not come into being, will not come into being, unborn, eternal, ever existing, primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So we all think we're going to die, but we're not going to die. The soul lives forever. We are eternal beings, but the body will die. Unfortunately, we have to change our form, and we don't like that because our nature is to be eternal. We want to be eternal. Oh, Hare Krishna. I should also look at this audience too, in the camera. Okay, so one thing we can learn from observation of the world around us. Generally, when we look at the world around us, we think that we are the center and everything should cooperate with me, and the world is meant for me to enjoy. But there's another approach, another way of looking at the world. Instead of something for us to enjoy, it's something for us to learn a lesson from. And here it's in the city, oh yeah, I see some green over there. But I would like to take two examples from nature. And you can't really see it here from this point, but you can remember if you've had experience of the wind. I think everybody has had that experience in your life, about the wind. So what can we learn from the wind? Well, the wind sometimes goes over very dirty places, like garbage dumps, and it picks up the smell, carries it for some time, and then it drops it. Also, the wind may go over some very beautiful flower gardens, like we have some nice gardens where we live. Picks up the scent of roses, takes it for a while, and then drops it. So as we go through life, we go through different experiences. Sometimes we have the happiness of roses, and sometimes we have the stress of things that we don't want in our lives. So we can learn from the wind not to be attached to these different situations. We carry it for some time and then drop it. Another thing we can learn is that the wind is different from the things that it carries. So the soul is like the wind. And the things we carry is like this body, and sometimes we get sick. That's something we carry that we don't like to carry. And sometimes we go and have a nice swim at the beach. I mean, I don't know about Finland, it's pretty cool. But I think some people do that. I don't know what else you can do here to enjoy. I was in Hawaii and everybody goes there to the beach. It's in the middle of the ocean. So sometimes we go through these very happy experiences, like the wind, but it's actually different from who we are, the soul. So we should learn to be detached and to go through life and realize that actually it's different from me. And that brings us to another of our experiences in nature, which I can see right now, but you can't see, and that is the sky. The sky, we can also learn lessons from the sky. The sky is also our guru. What can we learn from the sky? So the sky is the background. Things are going on in the sky. Right now I can see there's some clouds going through the sky. Sun is also in the sky. And also there's wind in the sky. There's so many things going on in the sky. The sky is not attached. It's simply the observer. It's the background. So in the same way, our soul is like the observer. It is the observer inside this body, and things are going on. Sometimes, just like in the sky, there's hurricanes. Sometimes in our life, there's hurricanes of emotions or different things that are happening. Sometimes it's very peaceful and it's a clear sky. Sometimes it's covered with the clouds and we can't really see the sky. So right now in our condition in this world, the soul is covered. It's covered by the clouds of this body, actually. But we have consciousness. And the consciousness that shines through this body is actually who we really are. It's a symptom of the soul. So it's just like, I don't know if you don't have a rainy season here, but you do have rain. So, and you do have clouds at night. So at night you can see the moon sometimes shining through the clouds. So in the same way, we who are souls, spiritual beings, we shine through these bodies. And the more pure you are, the more uncovered you are, the more you shine. So we were chanting today this Hare Krishna mantra. And what that does is that uncovers the soul. It takes out all the garbage, all the things you don't need, all the anxieties, all the worries, takes them out, and we experience who we really are. So the soul doesn't die, it's not born, it doesn't get sick, it doesn't get old. Like now I'm experiencing old age, almost 70 years old. But for the soul, there's no old age. In the spiritual world, there is the age of the soul is not more than 16 years old. Sweet 16 is the best age. You know, when you see somebody younger, like a child, and you tell them, if you see a 10-year-old child, you say, oh, you look like 14, and he'll be very happy. You know, 10 is not the good age. It's better the older you get. But once you get like to 30, and you tell them, oh, you look like 40, they're not going to be happy. You have to say, oh, you look like 20. So, you know, the perfect age is around 16 to 20, but in the spiritual world, nobody gets older than 16. And you don't have to die, and you don't have to get sick or old. And that's why it's very unnatural. It's against our nature here to get old, to get sick, to die. So therefore we need to experience our real nature. We need to give food for the soul. The soul is starving for most people in this world. They're feeding the body and even feeding the mind, but they're not feeding the soul. So what you find here is food for the soul. This chanting, this mantra will deliver our mind from being in this world, from being attached to this world, and will give us attachment for the spiritual nature. And so another example given in this book, Bhagavad Gita, is that this world is like an upside down banyan tree. Now, I don't think you have banyan trees in Finland, right? No banyan trees. Maybe you do. I mean, it could be. I haven't seen all of Finland, but from what I've seen, you don't have banyan trees. So this universe is compared to an upside down banyan tree. Why is it upside down? Because it's a reflection of the real tree. If you go to a lake and there's some trees and you see the reflection in the tree, reflection of the tree in the water, then it will be upside down. It won't be right. So the real tree is in the spiritual world, and this world is like a reflection. And because it's upside down, we're uncomfortable. How long can someone hold you upside down? You can't be comfortable that way. And so that's why we don't feel perfect, and we don't feel happy with this world. We don't want to go through these changes of our body, which you must do. We don't like change. So, but the proof that we are young, I can tell you personally, because now I'm almost 70, but inside I feel like not more than 20. I don't feel old. And that's why when you get old, some people, when they get old, they want to just cover up all the wrinkles because they don't accept that they're old. The body, they aren't old. Of course they aren't old. They're very young, but the body is old. The body gets old. The body gets sick. So when you're young and you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, oh yeah, that's me. Yes, why not? But when you get old and you look in the mirror, you say, no, that's not me. So you get a realization, I am not this body when old age comes. And when disease comes, also you're not in your right condition. You have a fever, you say, that's not me. That's something that's imposed on me. So that's simply the change of the body. So another point I'd like to make is that about death. Death is something that we have experienced, but we forgot about. And that's why we don't want to die. Because we have that experience already from previous lives, that we've gone through death. But it's interesting that everybody in this world thinks it won't happen to me. And if you get some disease like cancer, you say, why me? You know, what's going to happen today or tomorrow? So that's something we have to accept with the body. But actually, it's nothing to do with the soul. The soul lives. And sometimes we experience, like sometimes I think, you know, what will it be like to be already have left my body and I'll be there maybe watching them cremate my body. What will it feel like? One time, one devotee, his mother, one of my friends, his mother got Alzheimer's disease. And that disease, you forget everything. She forgot this is my son. She forgot that this is her son. So then what happened was, just before she left this world, the last word she said to her son was, "It was so nice to have met you." Okay, but actually it's a fact that we meet each other in this world and then we separate again, not to meet, and then we have new families. There's stories about some small children who remember their past lives, but then it gets all crazy because then the parents in this life, you know, it's my child, and then somebody else is claiming it. So therefore we have to forget in between. But the soul is full of knowledge. Right now we are forgetting who we really are. So by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, by eating spiritual food, which I think you will have tonight, will you have? Yes. That will help you to discover who you really are. It will take away the material covering. And you will find out your soul. But it takes time. It's not all of a sudden, oh, today I found out who I am. No, it's going to take, you have to practice. You have to practice. And that practice we call Bhakti Yoga. So in order to know what we're doing here, there should be a goal as well, and there should be a purpose. Most people don't understand the purpose of life. They think, well, okay, we'll talk about that later. Maybe the purpose is to eat a lot. Maybe the purpose is to go shopping and have fun. Eat, drink, and be merry and enjoy. That could be the purpose of life, because after this life there's nothing. And so one time, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, my spiritual master, he was asked a question by some theosophists. Why is there anything in this world? Like, what's the purpose? Why is there existence? What is the purpose of existence? And he answered in one word. And it's the same, I mean, in Sanskrit it's one word, in English it's one word. In Sanskrit the word is Ananda. And in English the word is happiness. The purpose of life is happiness. But we're missing it here in this world. Very difficult to get happiness. So we're searching for love, but in the wrong place. Very difficult to find it. And so we try to love these bodies, but then they're not meant, we are meant for something higher, a higher love, and that is the love of the soul, soul to soul. And so when we look at the world, as I was saying in the beginning, we see it in different ways. We see according to our perception of the world. So today we're talking about different perceptions. There is a saying in one of the, I think the Jewish scriptures, that we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. We see according to our conceptions. So just like if you go to, now I see some trees over here, are a forest. Suppose I was up in the airplane coming here just yesterday, I think. And I was looking down, and I saw so many trees. Finland is covered with trees. Florida is covered with water and swamp. But here are so many trees. Of all the countries I've been to, this has got the most trees. But if you take a businessman and he looks at the trees, he'll think in terms of euros. How much money can I get by selling these trees, cutting them? And if you take, according to your conception of life, you see the trees differently. You take a young couple, they'll say, wow, this is a good place for us to go and enjoy. We'll go in these trees. And you take a yogi, a yoga student, they'll say, good place to go and meditate. I'll go sit in those trees and meditate. And you take a devotee, you say, oh, nice place for a temple. Let's build a temple there. So people, according to how they see the world, then they see things differently. So there's 5 basic conceptions. So I'll end with these 5 conceptions of looking at the world, 5 world views, which are described in our ancient scriptures. And the first one is called Annamaya. That means the purpose of life is food. If I eat, I'm happy. So you see at the beginning of life, a small baby comes in the world, and that's how it thinks. The infant thinks the purpose of life is to eat. And that's why they take things. I had a baby, and now he's grown up. But they take things and they put it in their mouth to figure out what it is. And if it tastes good, it's good. And if it's not, then they reject it. So they put everything in their mouth because they think, yes, the mouth is how I figure out what things are in this world. So their conception is food. Some people don't go beyond that conception. They're still in that conception that food is everything. But there is a higher conception, and that is where most of the people in this world are, and that is called prana maya. And that means not only food. Food is also important. Also sleeping. I must have a nice place to sleep. And sex life is important. I must have family or otherwise. And defending. I must have protection. A nice apartment, nice flat, everything. So this is called pranamaya, the struggle for existence. And that's why people work so hard. They think this is the purpose of life. Just to maintain. Very hard to maintain now in this age. How to maintain yourself. So that's another conception of purpose of life. But there is a higher one, a third one, and that is more on the mental and intellectual level, where people think, no, not just eating, not just sleeping, not just sex. There's something higher. There's music, there's drama, there's poetry, there's philosophy, there's science, there's education. This is also very important. It's also another purpose. I should have my education. I should enjoy nice music. So this is more on a subtle level. It's a third level that you look at the world. And then there's a fourth level, and that's called Jnanamaya. Now that's when you get a little bit spiritually advanced, and you realize, okay, there's something more to this world than just maintaining myself. There's something higher. It's higher even than the arts, even than education. There's a higher purpose, and that is to understand the soul. So that's the fourth level. You realize, there's something more than just eating, sleeping, making, defending, something more than science and philosophy. There's something higher, something eternal. But then there's something even higher than that. That's the fifth level, fifth conception of life. That is called ananda, or true joy, true happiness. And that is when we connect in yoga with the supreme happiness, or Krishna. And so this is the very highest level. And that is what we are practicing here. It's called bhakti yoga, yoga of love. Because everything is based on love. Whether you're in this world or that world, everything is based on love. But here the love is contaminated with our own agenda, with our own desires. And there it's pure. So we want to get to that state of pure love. And that is from soul to soul, or soul to the super soul. And that is, yoga means to connect, and that's what we want to connect with. And when we chant Hare Krishna, when we eat the spiritual food, when we read the books, then we are connecting and we are giving food for our soul. So, you have any questions? That was 20 minutes. Any questions or something else you'd like to know about? Yes?
You just mentioned connection to super soul. What do you mean?
Super soul. Very good. Very good question. Yeah, so super soul, within this body, not only we are there, but there is, the Lord is there, Lord in the heart. And He's called the super soul. Super soul. Like in each body, there's a different soul. You are one soul, He is one, I'm one. But in the super soul is also in each body, but He's the same one. And the difference between the super soul and our soul is we just know what's in one body. He knows what's in everyone. Everyone is thinking in everyone's body. So that's, yeah, and that's an expansion of Krishna. The yogis, they meditate, and their purpose, the real purpose of yoga is to see that super soul in the heart and meet him.
So it's kind of a connection to everyone also.
Yeah, because it's described like the super soul is just like the root of a tree, and we're like little leaves and branches on the tree. So if you water the root of the tree, you're connecting with everyone. If you're chanting Hare Krishna, it's like watering the root of the tree. It's nourishing, it's giving nourishment to the whole universe and to the whole body. And then it's connection with everyone, yes. Good question. Any other questions?
You said something about the purpose of life.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
And if you have been on a spiritual path and you experienced a spiritual awakening, how do you find your purpose in a Western society like this? Maybe I'm a little bit too early to answer this question.
That's a good question.
It's coming
No, it's a very good question.
Yeah, because it's hard in a Western society to
Very hard.
find your purpose, like spiritual purpose, if you're on that path and there's no turning back really. So
No, there is no turning back.
how do you find a safe place to find your purpose?
Oh, that's a very good question. How do you find your purpose in this society? Yes, so you have to be in this world, but not of it. And as I said, the way you can do that is by connection with the Supreme Soul, Krishna. And the more you uncover yourself, then the more that purpose is revealed. We all have a purpose, actually. Each and every one of us has a purpose to give. We have a gift to give to this world.
What if the society doesn't provide you many places where you can go and kind of uncover yourself, like in a society like this? There's not many
Yes,
places like
that's
World
right.
Wide
There's not
Web.
many places. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But
Should you be living on the streets and deny all the benefits from the government, or how?
no, not like that. Not like
I was
that.
gonna say-
Whatever you use everything, you don't deny your maintenance and all that, but you change your consciousness. That's all. You don't have to give up the money from the government. You don't have to give up your job or whatever, your family. That's not what you do. But you just change your consciousness, as I was talking today, how you see the world. And everything in this world can be transformed into spiritual energy. And that's what we are doing. We go on the streets. Like tomorrow we will have Hari, every day I think, they have Harinam. We go on the streets and we chant Hare Krishna. So that sound vibration is going all over the world. The sound goes around the world and it purifies the atmosphere. So we do that, and we have this restaurant here. And we have Harinam every day, yes?
Yeah.
In the same place, or
It's different places, but mostly in the city center.
mostly in city center? Yeah, so we go out and chant. But also you can make your home a sacred space where you live. You can make a sacred space in your home. I mean, we have our temple. I don't know where it is. Where's our temple?
Malmi.
It's outside the city center.
Malmi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows where it is. I'm just a visitor. So that's a sacred place. But you can also make your home a sacred place. If you're living alone. If you have a family, it might be a little difficult. Then you have to make one room a sacred space, like that. Where you practice, where you can go deeply into meditation and reading and doing spiritual things, even in your own home.
Yeah. But it's
How-
important to have that place and that space.
Yeah, you need that place.
Yeah.
Internet now is very good because you can access so many sacred spaces, and you can be with them virtually in different holy places, in different places. But yes, you can read these books at home. You can practice different things at home. Making your food, you can spiritualize your food too. You know, we spiritualize our whole lives, and the more you do that, then the more it's revealed to you what is your individual purpose and how you can serve the world, humanity, with that spiritually. It is revealed, but you need to follow the process of spiritualizing yourself first. Then you can spiritualize the world. First, you need to become spiritualized. And it takes time now. I've been practicing for 46 years, since I was 22. And every day is something new. And I learn something new every day. And I have to tolerate, like, things. Anyway, today my computer fell off the table and the drawer from the desk fell in my lap. Okay, what to do? Anyway, but yes, things will happen in your life. The more you are accustomed to tuning into the spiritual channel, then the more you'll be able to be unaffected and go on with your life.